Dwellers, welcome back to our channel. On today's episode, I'm going to share with you some of the key things you need to plan for before you start your building foundation. I've seen people go to sites without considering these factors, and it's very critical. You need to plan for these things before you start your building foundation. The first thing is a borehole. Somebody say, why a borehole? Oh, the borehole can be done if I'm done with the project, but you need the borehole. The borehole in the sense that the plot of land you have, it needs to be checked. Geologists will come and check the water level and to identify which part of the building that have a lot of water, and if you bring out the borehole, it will be able to feed your home. Therefore, you need to get a place for your borehole first before even thinking about how you position the building. Now, borehole is critical in the sense that if you put the building at a certain point and they need to come and check a certain area that a small area in a property that is left for the water, you may not get quality water. The aquifer may be low. Therefore, you have the geologists coming around to be able to run search on the ground to see which part of the land have good water, and then they can tap into that for you. Another key thing also is that when you get a borehole before you start a project, you cut down on the cost of your building project. You need water. You need water for your cement. You need water for your mortar job, the construction in totality. And if you want to put out 2-bedroom to 3-bedroom house, you spend around, let's say, 8,000 to 10,000. It depends on where you find yourself, and then you are going to buy water from the people to be able to, build that house. But when you have a borehole, which is about 24,000, 22,000, depending on the type of pump, you are not going to spend that money again to build a house. You just need to get, let's say, a generator, you rent it, they pump it, you have a poly tank, they pump the water for you, the people work, when it's finished, you bring the generator to pump again. If you happen to be at a place that's already developed, you can easily tap light from somebody nearby, and then you use that for your project. And that borehole will serve your home forever. It's better than you spend 8,000, 4,000, 5,000 to build a house, and later, before you go pay for the borehole again. And at the same time, you may not get the borehole at the right place. Another critical thing is a septic tank. People only focus on building the house, but the external factors, septic tank is one critical thing. It means therefore that you cannot have your septic tank closer to your borehole. They need to be directly opposite each other, or not in the same area. They should be far away, because these are all going into the earth. And then if you have your septic tank closer to your borehole, you suffer, papa, because the water you take is going to be poisoned, right? I know a home here, and then the people have their borehole, the septic tank is leaking into the borehole. So they are suffering typhoid every now and then. If not for the doctors and other analysis people inform them, they wouldn't know that the water they consume home is being poisoned by their septic tank. Therefore, septic tank is very critical. You don't need to place your septic tank in front of the house. It should be the back, it should be somewhere else. Therefore, when you know where you place your borehole, you'll be able to position your septic tank at a point that'll be okay. Another thing is the wall, fence wall. People mostly feel that they don't have money, so they go build their project without planning for fence wall. And after that, they eventually make money and they want to fence their house. You need to plan for it, with the sense that you don't position your building right on your demarcation or the point of your land. If you should do that, some of us are so selfish that we want to not leave any portion of our land for our neighbors and whatsoever. So we want to build right on the demarcation. If you should build right on the demarcation, and then you have money now to fence the wall, what will you do? Are you going to encroach somebody's property? Therefore, you need to plan for fence wall. Beginning stage, you need to understand that, okay, this. And there is a certain space that needs to be between your building and the fence wall. Therefore, when plan for the fence wall, you understand how you position the building itself and where the fence wall will live. And also planning for fence wall, you need to put in pathways for emergency. I've seen people park their buildings that if there is an emergency, fire service people will not be able to have an access to a building nearby to be able to, quench the fire that is all going. So you need to know that and plan critically for that, how you position your fence wall, how you put your borehole out there, a septic tank also. Another key thing is landscaping and then drainage system. You are building in a community and you know there is poor drainage system of the community, and you're not concerned about how you direct the water from your building to the major drainage system outside. You need to plan for that. How water will flow in your property out is very critical. Therefore, you need to plan for it. This will inform you how you position the building and how you'll be able to connect the canals that will take the water away from the building. It's very critical you plan for that. And then also landscaping. If you understand that you want to have a landscape position, or you need to have a place, a green garden or a green space in your building where you have green grass fixture, you need to plan for it also at the beginning stage to understand which part of the building that will be inculcated. And then when you have this in mind and you discuss it with your architect, they'll be able to plan that for you and understand that, okay, the building is going to face this, and also facing this direction, we'll put the green garden here. It's very critical. And at the same time, it will help you to go about how you position the building itself. Now, another key thing is how you position the building. Topography is the study of land, how you go about positioning the building or your property. It's very critical. And then you need to consider a lot of factors. Number one, how air flows into your property. If you're not concerned about how sunlight and air flows into your property, and then you feel that air conditioning will take care of business, you are at the wrong side of the world. We are thinking about quality air now. It's one critical thing. We have agencies that are advocating for pure air into our property. Therefore, you need to learn how, or you need to consider how you position your building. When you get to a vicinity and you see everybody, the facade, that is the frontage of their building, is facing a certain direction, you should also implement that. It gives unison and beauty to the entire community. And then also, when you get to a location and you feel that the people doesn't position their building well, you can bring a new dynamics, comparing that air blows in a certain direction. Every area, there is a direction that air blows. You need to be critical about that because you need air. Air condition will not take care of business forever. Even in the air condition, there are problems people develop because of long exposure to that. You need quality air, you need pure air, you need sunlight into your building. This will inform you how you'll be able to dig the foundation for your building and how the building will face. The final thing you need to consider is vegetation. We happen to be building in certain areas that there are trees. See, in Japan is able to remove a tree with the stem, everything out when they are constructing a road. The same way if you want to build a house and you see a tree that the roots are not penetrable, they will not be able to penetrate and destroy the foundation of your building. You need to send the architect to the ground to say, oh, this tree is on my land and I want this tree to remain here because the last man dies. Therefore, when you have trees, beautiful trees, flowers and all of that on your property, you should be able to make room to be able to accommodate them in your house for clean air. They give us the oxygen, they take our carbon dioxide, and the tree in your house only don't give you quality air. It also prevents your property from storms because the trees will be able to hold it for you. We studied that back in SHS. Therefore, when you have a major beautiful tree in your property, that can prevent storms and all of that from your property. You should be able to make room to accommodate that in the house. But then the architect needs to go out there and see that and be able to have that into the plan. And then you're sure to have a home that is full of quality air. These are the common mistakes people go out there to build their houses. They are just rushing it. They don't want to involve people and don't want to plan properly. With this idea, I'm sure that you make room for your septic tank, you make room for your fence wall, you make room for a borehole, you make room for your landscaping and also protection of the vegetation, and finally, how you fence or how you position your building for quality air and sunlight. And the last but not the least, the drainage system, how water will be able to move your property out so that your property will not get flooded. It's very critical. This is Dwell Chronicles. Thanks for joining today's episode.